Hello class, my name is Dr. Sessoms and I will be your professor for ELED 202. Hope everybody had a great summer and you're ready to work hard while having fun learning about technology. Again, this is ELED 202 and you're looking at section 701. There's another section of this which is called the same thing except it says 702. These two sections are the online sections of the course, and online means that we will not meet face-to-face in a classroom for any of our work. What you will do, however, is use the internet through various platforms to access your work, to create your work, and to submit your work, and we'll talk about all of those items. If you do need to meet face-to-face, you're certainly welcome. My office is in 281E of the TETC, also known as Conway Hall now. So if you need anything, certainly feel free to stop by. There are no official office hours per se because we're online class and everything we do is online. So you can arrange to meet with me, or if you wanted to stop by and look at my schedule, you can see when I'm around and you might be able to catch me. But today what we'll talk about is everything that we need to do for class to get started and to carry out the semester. And of course, as you have questions, please ask. Don't feel like if you're confused, don't feel like you can't email me. But I will have to tell you this, if it's something that should be in the directions, make sure that you've read the directions. Make sure you've read through everything before you ask any questions, because that's the first thing I'll do is redirect you to the directions or any details about the assignment that were already given. But I do want you to feel free to ask me questions whenever you want. In general, you need to give anybody that you email at least 24 to 48 hours to respond to you. And most of the time, I will respond much quicker than that. But I don't want you to feel like that if you don't get an answer immediately when you want it, that you're being ignored. Just remember that everybody has a busy schedule. So if you email me at 10 in the morning, that doesn't mean that I'll email you back at 10:10 the same morning. So make sure that you give all of your professors room to respond to you. Now, if it goes beyond 2 days and I haven't responded to you, then in that case, I may have overlooked your email. And that happens sometimes, so just send me a follow-up email and let me know. But this is what you'll see when you first log into my classes. So you should log into my classes and make sure your password works and everything. If not, you want to contact the IT Help Desk, and they are located in the new Academic Commons building now. So if you need anything, you can contact them through the web, or you can call them, or you can stop by to their desk in the Academic Commons. But this is what you'll see when you log in. You'll see a menu that you navigate, and this is where all of the information you need will be found. The modules will tell you about each assignment that you have to do. Sometimes there's multiple assignments in one module. This is where you go when we have quizzes. Of course, this is our syllabus, and if you click on this, it'll give you an outline of the items that you need when they're due. You also need to click on this one because this is the more detailed. This has all the rules and regulations and guidelines and things that you need to follow. For example, you'll be doing Hangouts this semester. Missing Hangouts is similar to not showing up to class. So you'll be working in groups. So you don't want to let your group down. So that's one rule. There's a rule about completing all assignments with a letter grade of C or better. So you just want to go through your syllabus and all your classes and make sure you understand everything that's expected of you, because if anything were to come up during the semester, you are responsible for whatever's in the syllabus, whether you read it or not, because you do have access to it. So make sure you read through that. And other stuff you can find is people in the course. So we'll be working in groups for our Hangouts. So this is where you'll be able to find people. Then there are your grades, but there'll be nothing here. It'll show you everything that when you get a score, it tells you what you got out of that score. But you also have some feedback as well when you check your grades. Here, if you click on home, it just takes you back to that regular page. Then assignments takes you to assignments. Now to see assignment details, they haven't quite opened for you yet. They won't open until 12:01 a.m. on Monday, August 29th. If you need earlier access, of course, you can respond and let me know. So I'm going to leave student view right now because this is what you see when you log in. Again, 701 section and 702 section, this is exactly the same for you. If you happen to know someone in the face-to-face sections that meet on Tuesdays, everything won't be exactly the same. You're learning the same objectives and things like that, but some of the assignments are different, and some things are built to work better for the online portion, and other things are built to work better for the face-to-face portion. So you can't compare it one-to-one in terms of each assignment and everything that you have to do. So if it seems a little different, it will be. I wanted to tell you that up front. But you're still learning the same stuff though. So let's go back and let's click on modules. So you'll see once you're able to log in, this is what you want to do. You want to log in and click on modules. And then where it says course information, you want to go through each one of these. The course overview just takes you back to that first login page that you see when you get to our class. The candidate information form will be something that you complete. And you want to do this early. So within the first week you should be working on it. By the end of the second week, you should definitely have it completed. Now, those are soft deadlines, so I know that's not good for everybody. But I do want to try to give you a chance to get acclimated and get used to everything. So I wanted to give you a little space. So hopefully you'll appreciate that. You can click on this link to get to this form as well if you have any problems. But otherwise, you could fill it out right here in your browser. And you'll notice the information. 2 items that you don't have right away are the Digo username and the website address. Now, if you go set these things up immediately, you'll be able to complete this form within a few days. Now, this stuff that's not a lot of work per se, so I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. We will work hard, and you may have heard that this class is a lot of work, but you do have to remember that you're in college and you're in an upper level college course, so you should expect that the work will reflect that. Now, sometimes you will definitely feel overwhelmed, and when you do, if you need something, feel free to contact me. I'll help you out however I can, but we've got a lot of work to do, and I want you to know that it will be a heavy semester, but hopefully you'll have fun and it won't feel like work per se. I know that's easy for a faculty member to say, but hopefully you see it that way too. So that's your candidate information form, and if we go back to modules, then we see a getting started. Now, in the getting started, this just tells you as soon as you finish this video, go to Wix, create your account, set up your 4 pages or your 5 pages for your website, and you'll have a video to show you exactly how to do that. If you watch the video and follow step by step, you can't go wrong. Same thing with the Digo. Get those things set up, then you open a candidate information form, fill that out, and this is one of your first readings, and then you read that and you'll make some entries into your digital library, and you'll be well on your way. So that's what you need to do to get started. In the Google Docs primer, we will use Google Docs for all of our written work. So if you have to type something up, it should be done in Google Docs. And I'll know whether or not you use Google Docs because I expect you to give me a link to your document. And the Google document link will have a specific look to it. So I'll know whether or not you use Word or if you use Google Docs. And all you have to do is watch this video. You do need a Gmail account. So if you don't have Gmail, you'll definitely need to create a Gmail account. It's free. All the tools in here are free. And then this shows you basically how to start it, save it, share it. The part about sharing it is what people forget to do. By default, your Google documents are private. And that means that no one can access them unless you make it public. So that's why you have to remember to do that. And it's hard for students to get used to that because when you create a Word document, save it, and you send it or upload it, you don't have to worry about that. But we're working in an online environment, and we're working with modern tools, so this is something that you need to know how to do and need to learn how to do. So make sure you watch that video so you know how to work with Google Documents. So that's the course information. Our long-term assignments. Digo is your digital library. So if I click on this, this will take you to, you'll be able to see this on Monday, like I said, and this tells you some of the details, but if you click on this link, you'll get the full details. And this just tells you exactly what you need to do, and it shows you how to start using it, how it's helpful to you. This shows you where you can get information to put into your Digo account. And if you're in the program now, of course, all of your methods courses, somebody's likely to give you a link to a resource in one of those classes. You can definitely use that. And all you have to do down here is follow these requirements. So you will need these tags, and you can think of these like hashtags. And under each hashtag, they should have more information. So you need at least 3 entries for each one of these. So your topic for creativity, you need 3 resources that are about creativity in the classroom. Doesn't matter what grade level, doesn't matter what subject. Only part of the grade level that matters is that it's 1 to 6 or K to 6, that it fits your license is all it really matters. Math, find math resources, and certainly any of the things that we use in our class is open game as well. You need at least 30 entries, and at the end of the course, all I'll do is take your username, I'll look you up, and then I'll see whether or not you've been making your entries. And you do need to make these on a weekly basis. So you, right here says bulk entries will not be accepted. So you can't decide that on September 2nd, I'm just going to put in 30 of these now and be done with it. It doesn't work that way. And you can't put this off until November and say, well, I'll do 15 in November and 15 in December. You need to show that from the first week of class all the way through the end of class, you made entries. And Digo will record the days and times that you make entries. So I'll be able to see the weeks in September, the weeks in October, the weeks in November, the weeks in December. I'll be able to see every week that you made entries. And if you don't follow that model, if you don't have that, that's a quick way not to get a good grade on the assignment. But hopefully you'll find this very helpful and creative. And by all means, make sure you do this one, your field placement. Make sure you engage with your mentor teacher and ask questions. Because if it's one thing that I know educators like, is when you ask questions about their expertise. And they're, most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, most educators are willing to share their knowledge with you. You may find some people that sometimes maybe not want to do that, but I haven't met too many that don't want to share with you. So talk to them, and it doesn't take long. You don't have to have a long conversation. And this is a good way for you to break that ice, to get to know them. All right. So any independent research you do. So if you go in our brand new shiny Academic Commons building and you start doing research and you come across resources that fit in these categories, they're fair game to go in there. But you do have to have these 6 categories. You have to have them. And the way that looks, let's go take a look at what your library will look like. And I'm just going to go to my library. So this is what I mean. Over here, I'll see the date. Now these are entries that I made in July. But if I click on this other tab, it'll show me stuff I made in June. So I'll be able to see starting from the first entry you make all the way through December. That's what I'll see here. And here is where the tags will appear. So this is where you need to have the social studies, the science, the math. That's what it needs to look like when you do that. But that's Digo, and it's pretty easy to use. All right, let's go back to my classes. This time I'll click on modules, and we'll go to another long-term assignment, which is your website. Now, your website has multiple parts. It has 5 total pages. And this will show you how to get started with Wix. So make sure you watch this video. It shows you exactly how to set up your website. And over here, if you click on that link, this shows you all of the components of your website. So these are the 5 pages that you have to create. When you watch that Getting Started with Wix video and you start to make your site, you will make these 5 pages. But you will not put content on all 5 pages right away. The student resource and the parent resource, they will be developed across the semester. You'll spend some time again in your field placement, talking to your teachers, finding out, well, what do parents need? What kind of stuff can I share with them? And there's other stuff down below. The professional development page will have you'll be doing some hangouts, and you'll embed those videos on here. And we'll talk more about that later. So if you scroll down, you see on the home page, you need an image, and usually it's a picture of you, something professional. And I mean, you don't have to have a suit on, but definitely not something where you're just hanging out, laying on the bed, or at a party or something like, or at the beach. It should be something kind of like you in a classroom or something like that. Something relevant, something professional that you could share with parents and administrator, stuff like that. Then you need a welcome and purpose for your website. So that'll be a paragraph that you create. And the paragraph you create will also be recorded auditorily, and you'll embed a player, which is this part right here, so that it'll have some intro music and some outro music, and I'll show you how to do all of that stuff. But it'll be somewhere where I can go and just click play, and I can hear your lovely voice, and your parents and your students can hear your lovely voice speaking to them. These are the items that go into your bio. So I mean, you can add other items in there if you want to. The 250 is a target. It's something that if you need 500 words, feel free to do that, but at least 250. And then you need your favorite quote. I'm sure everybody has a favorite quote. And make sure you put who said that quote as well. This is a tool that we'll need to use to create the embedded audio. And it will require you to download software if you do not want to use a computer lab. So if you have your own laptop or your own desktop in your room and you want to work there, you can download the software. It shows you how to do that, and then you need to do everything in your room. If you want to use the labs, TETC 280 has this installed on the computers. I suggest that you go in there when there's nobody there because you want to have a distraction-free recording environment. And I talk about these two files, but you'll need both of these files. One thing that you're going to learn about technology is that different software operates differently depending on what it is. So when you're used to working with a Word document, you're not used to working with two different file types. When you work with Audacity, there'll be a specific file for the software, and then there'll be a file that everybody can use. So this one is specific to the software. You save in this format, you can't share with anybody, but you can always go back, you can edit it, you can change it. Once you turn it into an MP3, that's when the world can use it. You can send it to anybody and they can play it on their computer, but you won't be able to edit that document. So you'll have two different file types to manage here. And all of that is covered in this little video. And if you have questions, definitely feel free to contact me. We'll have a calendar page. You'll learn how to embed a Google Calendar and add content to it. Again, school calendars, everybody has one, so you'll be able to just put events in. I just want to see that you know how to enter them. You can use your mentor teachers' calendar events or stuff like that, so that'll be pretty easy to do. This gives you information about your student resource and your parent resource pages. Again, those don't need to be content-wise, they don't need to be completed right away, but they do need to be created and set up so that you have an address, and I'll show you what that is. I'll give you a brief overview of that. You'll also have a Google form that you put on that page, and your form must have 10 items. And this form is like it's an inventory survey. So first day of class was something when you were in elementary school, teachers wanted to know. They wanted to know something about you, allergies, what's your favorite food, who are your emergency contacts, stuff like that. So you can create those items that way. That should be pretty easy. We'll embed that form directly on your website. So a parent could pull up your class website, go to your page, type directly in it, and it goes to your Google. It'll come to you in a Google spreadsheet, and you'll be able to access it pretty easily on a phone, a device, anywhere you are. Then your professional development page. These will discuss hangout discussions and stuff like that, and there'll be different topics, and you'll embed those on that page. We'll talk more about that later. All right, so let's go back to our modules, and that is what you need to get started. And these other items, these are different things that we'll do along the way. This will be your first graded assignment. This will be the first grade you get because this will be due, well, between this and the first part of your website, there'll be your first couple of grades. And this is set up so that you can do very well on your first two assignments. There's no reason why you shouldn't get a perfect 50 on the first part of your website. And this one, this depends on how hard you read. The quiz is challenging. The module's a little challenging. However, it's doable. You can definitely get an A on it, but you do have to push yourself. You do have to read carefully and study for it because there'll be a quiz after you finish this module. But yeah, so as we go through, there'll be different modules that we do in each one. Now, so here are the live text things. So these will not be done in my classes at all. All of your Maryland Teacher Technology Standards will be done in live text. And everybody in the state of Maryland that's in an education program has to meet these standards. Now, they'll do different assignments, of course, but they do have to know the Maryland Teacher Technology Standards. So let's take a look at live text. If you go to livetext.com, let me start out on that page so you can see. You go to livetext.com, you land on this page. If you already have an account, of course, you just log in. And if you forgot your username or something like that, your password, click here. If you've never used live text and you don't know what this is, click on register and then purchase. And if you've never used it, you need to let me know immediately before those assignments get started, and I'll show you how to use it. But it has some built-in videos and stuff like that you'll be able to access. And all you need is a standard edition. You shouldn't spend more than $99 on that. This will be used in all of your classes throughout your time in the program at SU. So it'll be used in your math courses. It'll be used all the way through when you get to your internship. It'll be used in your seminar. So this will be something that you use across the next 4 years. You won't have to purchase it again. This will be a one-time purchase, and it'll last you through your next few semesters in the program, and then I think at least a year after you graduate. And then we'll go back over here. So, and everything, and that's pretty much it as far as navigating the course. So we talked about my classes. We talked about how you need to get started. There'll be other videos to help you out, especially with the website. So If you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to contact me through email. That's the best way to reach me. Good luck, and I hope that we have a great semester together.